Okay, so it's my last vlog, and I'm going to talk about my friend. I'm not going to say her name just to I didn't really ask her permission to talk about her, so leave her anonymous. Um, I used to work at a telemarketing agency, and I met this woman from India who became a very dear friend of mine. And so we were talking one day, and I asked her, like, what did she do before, she worked in telemarketing, and she told me that she used to be an English professor in India, um, and she like got her PhD there and everything, and so I asked her, like, why is she now a telemarketer, and she just said that her education wasn't recognized in Canada, and I just thought that there was just like a huge social injustice, like this woman who's accomplished in her own right, I mean in her own country, and not even in her native language but in English. She's an English professor, and she can't come here and and use her education. She has to work for $8 an hour, at a telemarketing company, and we see this all the time. Taxi drivers with medical degrees, and albeit obviously we have a standard of education that we consider above everyone else, but is it so much so that we don't even recognize certain skills such as language? I mean, clearly this woman speaks English, and I'm sure could pass, any English test or English equivalency even better than a native. So, why can't she use her English degree? And, we can make the argument that, medical degrees in different countries are not the same in Canada. Fine. But is it the same thing when it comes to language? And what about immigrants from England or Australia, who come with English degrees and are able to teach here? So, what does that say about how we view immigrants, and especially immigrants of color, and especially women of color who come here, to better themselves and better their family, and, find, prosperity in this great land, and to come here to find out that they have to start all over again when they already spent like 20 or 30 lives educating themselves back home. So I know she was discouraged, and I tried to give her positive words, but I think that we should also look at ourselves as a society, as a government, and our own policies, and see how blatantly racist they are, and the type of hindrance that they allow people, when they come here, and that's not to say that everyone with a degree from their country is qualified to work here, but I definitely think that people who are, there should be some sort of testing or standard that they can definitely pass. Especially, I mean, if it's not even something to do with like surgical doctors or stuff like that. Like, she's a language teacher, clearly. Clearly she's qualified to do her job. So I just want to talk about that. I just want to talk about, basically social discrimination, job discrimination, against immigrants who are educated, and have been educated in their home countries, and, can't use um, their talents or any of their degrees in Canada. And I think that definitely is something that needs to be talked about. You know, this is a great social injustice, and it's not fair at all. Okay, so thanks for listening. Leave any comments, criticisms. I know this is a loaded subject, and probably a lot of people who have a lot to say on this subject, so I'm looking forward to hearing from what you guys have to say.